Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for what you all love and what I love as well. It is time for One Piece. So let's begin, shall we? Yeah! Peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to more One Piece. Oh, I am so happy to be alive to give you guys more One Piece. Oh, I feel good today. Had a wonderful church service. Saw old friends I haven't seen in a minute, and I was just reminiscing with them. That's the reason why I was late. That's the reason why I was late. I was talking with old friends again, and we were just talking about old times, and I just got caught up in that. I really am getting older if I'm losing time just speaking about old times. But old times with friends. But we are here now. The last time we had a chapter with One Piece, we had one of the greatest reunions of two characters in this series, being Robin and Saul. They couldn't fight it anymore. I can't fight this feeling anymore. And they were just so happy to see each other. So, before we begin, is your voice back? I know you were sick before. Feels good to see you happy, bro. Oh, I'm always happy. Even if I'm sick, I'm happy. Because if I'm sick, I'm alive. I know it sounds weird to say that, but if I can feel sick, then I feel something, and I'm alive. And I just kept going. Sure, my voice may not have been at its absolute peak, and I may have an occasional cough here and there because that's a little bit of the phlegm trying to get up out my system. But other than that, I've been happy. And I can laugh and bring out the without it just turning into a coughing fit. So I am extremely happy about that. But let me acknowledge everyone before we truly get started. Cohagen, Ozzy. If I don't make it back in time for my date, I will at least say this. Greetings, fellow peoples. Enjoy the chapter. Ozzy, you enjoy yourself on your date. If you watch this after the stream is over, hope everything went well for you, bruh. And Zakaruga, good to see you as well. Let's get started. Also, for those who don't know, Kazuki Yao, the voice of Franky, has officially stepped down in his role with Franky after almost 20 years of being Franky, being Mr. 2, and being the voice of Django. In place of him will be Subaru Kimura, who many of you may know as quite a whole bevy of different characters in different anime, but some of you Jujutsu Kaisen fans may know him as the voice of the best bro in the series, Aoi Todo. So he will be the new voice of Franky in One Piece going forward. And considering how well he does Aoi Todo, if he brings that tone to Franky, ow! Oh, I can't wait to see what he brings to Franky. But to start us off in chapter 1134, we have the entire Straw Hat crew riding on top of a super Franky mech. We are eternal. So this has to be towards Kazuki Yao as Franky for all of his time playing as Franky in the anime. But we got everyone riding on top of this giant Franky mech, and they're all using water guns. And yeah, they all got water guns. Whatever happened to Nerf water? See, it's trying to stick around, but I won't let it. But whatever happened to Super Soakers? Remember when those jokers used to be amazing from Nerf? When's the last time you bought a Super Soaker, huh? Conversation for later. But it's a color page with all of the Straw Hats on top of Franky, on top of giant mech Franky. It's a beautiful one as well. Robin is the only one who isn't holding a water gun, firing or aiming it in a direction. She's just chilling. She's the only one who's just chilling. Chapter 1134, The Owl Library. Oh, the library. Be still, my heart. My heart is over here on my left side, but I'm like, if the Owl Library is what I think it is. But we begin. We begin with chapter 1134, The Owl Library, and Luffy is just standing there like he's doing this. He's just doing this. Old man Saul, a long time ago you did a great favor to one of our youngins. Thank you kindly. Why is he speaking like an old dude? Why is Luffy speaking like an old dude? He's not suffering the effects of Bonnie's age fruit. He's not currently suffering from the debilitating effects of Gear 5. Why he talking like an old Why he talking like an old dude? Old man Saul, a long time ago you did a great favor to one of our youngins. Thank you kindly. I don't know who he calling youngin because Brook, Frankie, Robin, and Jinbei are pretty much the oldest people in the crew. Luffy being one of the youngest ones, with Chopper being the absolute youngest. Old man Saul, a long time ago, you did a great favor to one of our youngins. Thank you kindly, begging your pardon. And I think Jinbei's the one going, where and how did you learn that? Well met, good sir. And then Robin, standing in Saul's palm, because Saul is a big dude. He's a big giant. He goes, this is Luffy. Daddy, she. Yeah, I know about Luffy. He's famous. So you found him after all, huh, Robin? Oh, he's talking about the friends. Oh my God, he's talking about the friends he said will be the ones who will help, who will be there for Robin. He's saying, oh, so you found those friends I told you about, huh? Oh, his face is beaming. The greatest guy ever, aside from Kuma. We just had one of the best heartfelt moments with Kuma being the most benevolent individual in all of One Piece from the Egghead arc. And now we have a very cool dude saying like, oh, so you found him after all, huh, Robin? And Robin is just standing there with her old classic look going, I did. Just as you said. I found them, Saul. I found the true friends who will stand up to protect me. And everyone, except for Luffy, they all turn around. Because remember, when they saw Robin and Saul talking to each other, they started crying their eyes out the moment Robin did. So Frankie's crying, Brooks crying, Usopp, Chopper, Nami, and Sanji. They just turn around again so they don't see him crying and go like, we'll protect you for life! We'll protect you for life! Mind you, Jinbei and Zoro are the only ones who are, remaining steadfast in their emotions. And then Luffy's just laughing like, I mean, of course. Listen, all you friends of Robin's, thank you for coming all this way to Elbaf. Sorry about the surprise and all. I rehearsed it over and over with my assistant, Ange. Oh, so that's her name. The lady that works with Saul. Years ago, I was in the Navy, so I know what a big deal the Four Emperors are. Thank you so much for keeping Robin safe. All I can say is, keep it up. You bet we will. And then we get Lilith, and she just flies up to Saul. Hey, Saul! It's me! You? Who's you? How are you flying? I'm Vegapunk. Huh? And then we get Jinbei, who has like this big container on the Sunny going, is this what you wanted? Ah, yes, perfect. And then Gerd comes in because it's a very big container. But Gerd being a giant, it might as well be a handbag to her. Allow me. Vegapunk requested that we bring this all the way from Egghead. What's inside? This? Me. A Vegapunk clone? And this is Luffy going, a Vegapunk clone? A perfect recreation, not like we satellites. This was the me who came here 20 years ago. did... Oh, hold up. Excuse me?
A perfect recreation, not like we satellites. This was the me who came here 20 years ago.
And then Saul is kind of confused, and then Lilith continues.
Don't you think the government would have been suspicious if...
Oh, wait, this is Robin.
Don't you think the government would have been suspicious if the Stella had left his lab for months at a time? Anyway, I snuck him out in a vat of biofluid, but I don't have the facility to safely extract him. That's why I need to settle down here and build a new laboratory.
And then we have Bonnie going,
Lilith, does that mean you'll be able to make my daddy out better? Of course, Bonnie.
Kuma. There's a way. There's a way. There's a way. There's a way. Kumagan. Oh. There's a way.
Lilith, does that mean you'll be able to make my daddy out better? Of course, Bonnie.
Yay! But then Saul again. If you're really Vegapunk, then I'm delighted to see you again after 20 long years. But I can't wrap my head around it. Why are you a woman?
Oh, who cares? I can explain later.
Saul doesn't know about the satellites and the different body types of the satellites.
Mr. Saul, are you done now? Can we go play?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Thanks for your help, kids. And then we have Ange. Or is it Anji? Anji? I want to think about Hanji. Anji. Let me just say Anji.
Normally, this spring is a playground for the children, so we had to ask them to stay quiet for Mr. Saul's little one-man act.
You did all of that and she saw right through it.
Forgive the late introduction. I'm Mr. Saul's assistant, Anji.
Owl Library librarian, Saul's assistant, Anji.
Sorry to talk down to you like this. We run the best library in school in Elbaf here. I can show you around if you'd...
And then all of a sudden, while Anji's looking to the side going,
I can show you around if you'd... Whoa, this place looks fun! That already gun?
This is where warriors of Elbaf get their elite training! And we cut to like a very big panel showing this big old giant treehouse.
That's the walrus school where the children of Elbaf learn. Saul founded it 20 years ago at the behest of the former king.
Yo! Saul founding a whole entire school? Wow, that looks so neat! Oh wait, wow, that looks so neat, Luffy. So it's basically a warrior training ground, huh? And they just start running towards this whole school, and it looks just like a giant playground for the kids. So long, Angie and Gerd. Show them wherever they want to go. I'm going to give Robin a tour of the library. The library that could very well have all of the books of Ohara inside. Let's keep going. And then Nami's going,
let's go, Chopper. I'm more curious about the library. Are the books huge too?
I haven't been in a school in ages. Well, half of those ages was you being dead, so I kind of understand that. And I'll protect you, Nami. I'm curious about this island's giant tree. It's huge.
Big squeak humans, catch 'em and take 'em prisoner.
It's a... Oh, wait, that's Luffy going... It's a land of giants. Should I slash them? Don't even think about it. Yeah, I guess kids are meant to be brats. Zoro, why is the first thing that Zoro's thinking is like, can I slash these children? Chill, okay? Just chill out. And then we have these little giant girls going,
stop that! Don't chase the humans around!
Sorry.
And don't say peep squeak!
They're such wimps! Because the giant boys, like the giant little boys, are being reprimanded by the giant little girls. Are these brats really from the village of warriors?
Hey, you're not supposed to call us brats!
Wait, this is weirding me out. Listen, you can call us Pipsqueak humans. It's fine. And you guys are... Wait, let me see. Listen, you can call us Pipsqueak humans. It's fine. And you guys are gonna go out to sea one day and fight ruffians, aren't you?
No, we're not. That's dangerous.
What? What? Aren't you guys the next generation of Elbaf warriors?
Don't call us guys.
What?
It's not in anymore.
And both Zoro and Luffy and Usopp are talking, and oh wait, someone from wait, that goes to someone else.
It's not in anymore.
And whose voice was that? It was an adult. What do you mean it's not in anymore?
You should probably move. You're going to get yelled at. You're standing on top of Ms. Ripley.
Oh. Hello, nurse. And she's not even a nurse. They're standing on top of a lady. Walrus School biology teacher Ripley. Zoro standing next to her. Usopp's on her stomach, and Luffy is a little bit further up. If you know, you know. We're on top of a giant? Sorry.
It's fine. You're not heavy. Is this shocking to you? When the warriors of Elbaf were ransacking the world, that was 100 years ago. Insults, violence, pillaging, war. That's just not the world we live in anymore.
What? And Luffy is falling over her hell of dreams. He's falling over her hills. And and he goes, "What?"
Welcome. I heard about you from Sol. You must be the Straw Hat crew.
Oh, there they are. And Anji runs up.
Sorry our brats are so darn annoying.
Hey, your tone of voice.
Miss Ripley, that's mean. I teach by negative example.
I can already hear the people that like Miss Ripley.
The great King Harold once said, "Don't fight other countries. Trade with them." He got into many arguments with the village chiefs and their traditions.
King Harold? And then we have Anji walking up.
He was a great king who tried to reform this country and was killed by his own son before his dreams could be realized. But the country refused to give his son the throne, and so Elbaf has no king now.
What about Harudin?
Okay, history lesson over. Go and show them around the school, kids. Yes, Miss Ripley. Go on now. Why aren't you in your white hair form, Captain? I was looking forward to that.
Wow, the giants know of Luffy's Nika form. It's not just Dorian Broggy, the rest of them know. They're shocked to see Luffy not in his white-haired Nika state.
I was looking forward to that.
Oh, that's my free form.
Huh? There's a warrior who looks like that in Elbaf's mythology.
Oh, yeah?
You make my heart race. We're the last generations of warriors here.
Oh, so you've already heard most of the story. Basically, I fled for my life and managed to get here to Elbaf. Oh, snap! Saul's telling us what happened afterwards! Where's that water? I know I got water. I need the water. Hold on. I left it downstairs. Now is not the time for me to be walking away because I got Sakamoto days after this. Oh, so you've already heard most of the story, and this is Saul. Basically, I fled for my life and managed to get here to Elbaf. But I couldn't help but worry about the books those scholars gave their lives to protect. So I asked Harudin's crew to take me to Ohara. When I found all those tiny books clinging to life, I wept. Come on in, Robin, but watch out for that book. And as soon as As soon as Robin takes a book her size in her hands, the book suddenly expands and grows in size. What the? And Chopper's here with her as well. Daddy, she. Ain't it something? All those books are now giant size. Every book you bring in here turns huge. This is the Wondrous Owl Library. In here you'll find all the texts that Ohana protected 22 years ago. We searched all over the island to find every last one. I knew it was going to be a massive library. I didn't realize we were going to be inside of the giant library from Avatar. This is literally the giant library in Avatar: The Last Airbender. And they found every single book. Do you realize just how much information that Ohara studied is in here? We're finally here in this library. Ah! In here you'll find all the texts that Ohara protected 22 years ago. We searched all over the island to find every last one. You can check. They're all here.
Oh.
And Robin is just looking awestruck because she thinks of Professor Clover as he goes, "This is the world's best library. You like books?" And this is back when she was a child. I can't believe I finally get to show this to you. And Robin's eyes once more fill up with tears. And then we cut to the underworld. Ah, yes. You're almost as bored as me. Am I bothering you? Nah, I could use a conversation partner. And this is Loki. Loki speaking to somebody. Loki is speaking to somebody. Am I bothering you? Nah, I could use a conversation partner. And I've got all the time in the world. Are you still traumatized by that experience? By that experience you were telling me about? I am. Even now, the memory makes me tremble uncontrollably. Hurts me to hear it too. Snow transponder snail, cold resistant speech recognition type. So, let me tell you who I think is talking to him already. Are you still traumatized by that experience you were telling me about? And this and you know that transponder snails take on the appearance of the people who are speaking through them. This particular snail has an extremely large beard. If my assumption is correct, one of the giant chiefs, I think it's Jarl, because Jarl is gone. I think Jarl is speaking to Loki. Let's keep going. I am. Even now, the memory makes me tremble uncontrollably. Hurts me to hear it too. I've never met you nor seen you, but through some twist of fate, we've long been friends. I don't like where this conversation is going. If I were there in your place, I'd have razed it to the ground and killed them all instead. I wasn't hoping for that much. And that's why you're so weak, Shaggy. Listen, you don't want to let these fools get away. You put them down for good, or they'll come back for vengeance. Why, thank you. What? I've realized recently that those fearsome words of yours hide your kindness. Don't make me sick! How dare you suggest such a thing? I'll not have you sassing me like this. Me? Kind? Never say that again! Please, don't shout. Shut up! Just you wait until I get these chains off, Shaggy. And then we cut to the western village in Elbaf. Hey, the feast hasn't started yet. We're just drinking as we wait. That's a little too much. And then there's like this big explosion sound. like this doom sound at this big castle that's at the top of the tree. And we get Dory laughing with some other giants. Yeah. And then we get two people who are in front of this. What is this structure? The heck? And there's these two individuals, and they're standing in front of this structure. And then we get what looks to be the same sigil that can summon the Gorosei. It's still flaming and hissing. What? Who is that? Why does he look like Shanks? Who is that? Who is this? Who is this? We got these two individuals. We got someone that has like eyelashes and their face is partially covered. And then we got someone that looks just like Shanks. We got someone that looks just like Shanks. We got someone that looks just like Shanks. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Huh? And we're going on break. We're going to 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 break. Who is this? Who is this? To be continued. To be continued? Huh? What you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Gamer Cool, how did you get so good at voice acting? Practice, practice, practice. Years of practice. What am I witnessing? These have to be two God Knights, and one of them looks like Shanks. God Knights are here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This is concerning. If this... Are they the God Knights? Because the only people we've known to use this sigil teleportation, like this circle, this summoning circle, have been the Gorosei. To either bring themselves to a location or bring others to a location. There's a lot happening in this chapter. I need to calm down. There's a lot happening in this chapter. And Oda leaves us on a break for 12 days. We won't get a new chapter until next year of One Piece. And they got... Does Shanks have a brother? Is the evil twin theory real? Is it real? They pulled up like Organization 13. Yeah! They pulled up like Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts. That's exactly what it was. Also, what is that? Winston? Yeah. I know that's Leet speak, but I want to say Winston. Fantastic voices. Well, thank you. My voice is still not at 100% without going into coughing fits, but hopefully I was able to entertain you all. David, yo to every new person that dropped in today. Yuka, Luffy's talking Yakuza style. I had a feeling it was Yakuza, but I didn't want to mislabel it. When you're Yonko and don't know how to act, let me see. Yo, good to see you, Lunar. Kitty, good morning to you as well. Hope you're enjoying your time over in Singapore. But the Gorosei have a number on the circle. There's no number in this circle. True. That's very true. Which makes me wonder if it's not the Gorosei that summoned them. Because now, since we don't have we clearly don't have any numbers here on the summoning circle. So what if the means of teleportation does not belong to the Gorosei, but someone is sending them instead? I have so many questions, and we're going on break. So here's what I love to do. One Piece. I like to go over the synopsis that they fill out. Because I know they got it. They always have it. Yes. Long summary. I love long summaries. Luffy greets and thanks Saul for helping Robin in the past, all the while talking like a Yakuza, to the confusion of his crewmates and me, because I didn't know that was a Yakuza thing to do. Mind you, I got Like a Dragon, and I haven't played through that. And I also have Yakuza 0, so I am pretty much ignorant to the ways of a Yakuza, so forgive me if I didn't know right off the bat. Robin introduces Luffy for him, but Saul states he is aware of Luffy's reputation. Still, he is relieved that Robin was able to find the friends who would protect her like he knew she would. One of the most heartfelt moments. Literally, Saul predicted this, and it came to pass. And you couldn't ask for any better friends than just the entire Straw Hat crew. They would kill everybody just to protect her. They would even go up against the Godosei without a second thought. Even Nami and Usopp were willing to go up against a Godosei just to protect Robin. That's how much she means to them. You gotta love it. And she calls the Straw Hats her true friends, causing all of them, except for Luffy, Zoro, and Jinbei, to cry their eyes out once more, saying they'd die for her. It's just lingering in the back there. I'll get me some tea later. Right now, I gotta work. Saul greets the rest of the crew and commends them for reaching Elbaf before apologizing for his earlier prank, revealing that the woman who was calling for help earlier, Anji, is actually his assistant, and she was in on the prank the entire time. Saul tells Luffy he is impressed. He is now recognized as one of the 4 emperors and asks that he continues to protect Robin, which he happily agrees to. Lilith then appears and flies over to Saul, though at first Saul doesn't recognize her until Lilith introduces herself. Jinbei and Gerd then help deliver a large box to Lilith, which she instructed him to bring from Egghead, and when he asks what is in it, Lilith reveals it contains a perfect clone of Dr. Vegapunk. We need to talk about this. The world government just keeps catching elves all the time. Think about this for a second. Think about everything the world government did on Egghead to silence Vegapunk. So now, what we have here is a Vegapunk, a perfect clone of Vegapunk. Let that sink in. Everything the world government tried to do, sending all the Godosei trying to fight and kill Vegapunk, sending Kizaru there, the mother of all Buster Calls. One, they took one of the biggest L's when they failed to stop Vegapunk's message. Now, unbeknownst to them, they have literally failed in stopping Vegapunk, period. Now, they've failed not once, not twice, but 3 times. Okay? So to their knowledge, all of the satellites except for York are disposed of. They don't know of Lilith, thanks to Atlas. 2, they don't have access to Punk Records. Sure, York can still kind of connect to it, but they don't have access to it whenever they want to, because now it is up in the cloud. It is literally in the cloud. So that's one thing. Another thing is that they failed to fully stop Vegapunk's message, and which has basically rekindled the golden age of piracy once again. So they failed there. Not only that, but now we've learned that there is a perfect clone of Vegapunk that they took with them that is now going to be in Elbaf, which you can't just roll up to and do whatever you want. Now, of course, that no longer applies due to the 2 individuals that just teleported into the innermost parts of Elbaf, unbeknownst to the rest of the Giants. So it's like, there's so much going on. But the world government has basically failed to literally just stop Vegapunk in all capacities. Not only will we have a satellite with all of Vegapunk's knowledge, but now we're going to have a perfect clone of Vegapunk once again let loose in the world, making a laboratory in Elbaf, because Egghead is pretty much a bust now. The world government can't win at all. They went the extra mile to silence the greatest mind in the world, and even after he died, you still can't stop him because you got a perfect clone. These jokers just stay losing. So let me see here. But either Imu-sama can give power to more than 5 people, or it's a completely different power. That's what I'm thinking. There's only one lightning and 1 circle. Something tells me that we're about to go up against the Holy Knights. That's what I'm feeling as well. Maybe that's why Shanks let his arm get eaten, so when Luffy meets this guy, he would tell the difference. Luffy, that's not Shanks. He's missing an arm. Makes you wonder, why did Garling discard Shanks? We're going to see. See, here's the thing. Everyone is still really massively holding on to Figureland, Garling, and Shanks being related because of One Piece film, One Piece Film Red, which is currently considered non-canon. But time will tell if there is some validity to what was done in Film Red and if it's considered canon now. Because remember, Roger and Rayleigh, after the events of God Valley, they found Shanks. I think it was after God Valley, but no, because Roger had a mustache then, and God Valley, Roger didn't have his mustache. So they found Shanks inside of like a big old chest of treasure. But it remains to be seen if that will be considered canon now or not. Because for all intents and purposes, the events of Film Red are considered non-canon to the main story of One Piece. Even though people really want to hang on to the whole Figureland, Garling, and Shanks being related, it's yet to be put in manga pages yet. So we should consider that as such. However, given the fact that we got somebody that looks just like Shanks here on Elbaf after Shanks just left, is very concerning. Okay? So Oda's, when we find out who this person is, people might be looking at Film Red just a little bit differently. We'll have to see. Maybe that's why Shanks let his arm get, maybe Clone Wars and is the only other person present, Shanks' sister. Vegapunk has plan A through Z. Look, unlike Plankton, his plans actually work. But it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen if there is a definitive relation between Garling and Shanks. But given how things are going right now, I'd say hold on to those theories. I'm going to go out on a limb here to say, like, I may hold on to those theories as well. Maybe there is a relationship between them two. Because you know me, I tend to be on the fence, and I tend to wait until the manga confirms things before I start delving into theories. But there might be some actual weight to this. Let's see how this develops. But that's one thing. But the world government just keeps losing. They tried to kill Vegapunk because he knew too much about the Void Sentry. Now, and they thought they killed him. They thought Kizaru killed him. Yeah, I killed him. But now we got a clone of him. So everything that they did to Egghead was basically pointless. Because not only did you fail to stop a satellite from getting free, but also you failed to realize that he had a perfect clone ready. So just in case he died, he can have a clone fill his place. So now the smarts and genius of Vegapunk can continue. You didn't stop him. You may have slowed him down, but you didn't stop him. Also, the Denden Mushi, I think the Elder Fallbeard or Mountain Beard, don't remember which one that's still alive, is a great option. Yeah, that's and I don't know, Winston, if you were here when I said, like, I really think this is one of the old elders. Either is a Lord Jarl or Yorl. I think it's Jarl with an A. Because Jarl, I think, is the one who was killed by Big Mom back then, which is the events that Loki is talking about. So that's also a concern that Loki is speaking to one of the oldest living individuals in the entirety of Elbaf right now. It's a bit concerning that he considers them long since been friends. So that's a concern. But let me get back to the synopsis. Let me keep reading that. Let's see. Lilith then flies over, then appears and flies over to Saul, though at first Saul doesn't recognize her until Lilith introduces herself. Jinbei and Gerd then help deliver a large box to Lilith, which she instructed him to bring from Egghead, and when he asks what is in it, Lilith reveals that it contains a perfect clone of Dr. Vegapunk, which is what he used to visit Elbaf 20 years ago. So now we have a better explanation. So you mean to tell me the Vegapunk we saw back then, that wasn't actually Vegapunk? That was his clone visiting. When the Giants, okay. When the Giants took the books from Ohara, and we saw the silhouette of Vegapunk in the library going through all of that information, you mean to tell me that was Vegapunk's clone he sent there to get all that information while he stayed on Egghead to avoid suspicion? So you mean to tell me that that wasn't... Because I was wondering, like, how did he get away from Egghead to read all that stuff and then get back? He sent his clone there. Vegapunk was already steps ahead even back then. I thought this was a clone he used in the event of his death. No, this was a clone he used to gather information without actually leaving Egghead. Family's calling in. Give me a sec. All right, sorry about that. Family. Let's see. Shanks has a Roxas. It would seem so. Because maybe Loki was either framed and he knows the truth, or he supported what Loki did. Because Harold might not have been what he was told. It might have been what we were told he was. Let me continue going through the synopsis real quick. Lilith states. Lilith reveals it contains a perfect clone of Dr. Vegapunk, which is what he used to visit Elbaf 20 years ago, as to not arouse suspicion from the world government. Lilith states she won't be able to extract the clone until she gets the necessary equipment, which is why she plans on building a new lab. Bonnie, who was also there, asks Lilith if she will be able to help Kuma, and she tells her she intends to. So, now we have it on the table that Kuma is one of the people that Vegapunk is going to be helping to try and heal his mind, to get him better once again. Oh, I can't wait for the day when Kuma gets his mind back, or at least as whatever Lilith intends to do, which is basically get him back to where he was before. The Straw Hats are going to have one. Think about this for a second. Lilith saying that she intends to heal Kuma. If she is able to get Kuma's mind back to where it was before, the Straw Hats are going to have one of the most powerful allies you could ever have on your side. Sure, you got a whole bunch of different pirates and an entire fleet. You got a whole bevy of strong individuals on your main crew. But Kuma? in your corner? You got some power in your corner now. Some heavy ammunition in your camp. And Kuma is what you would call heavy ammunition. And by proxy, not only would you have Kuma on your side, you would also have the revolutionaries on your side too. Think about it. Because if Kuma gets his mind right, and he gets in contact with the revolutionaries, and he says, like, I'm helping out your son, Dragon. You got one of the most dangerous armies on your side too. I'm just saying. The possibilities are quite literally endless if you get Kuma in your corner and he's fighting on your side. So let's continue. Some kids then peek out from behind a tree, asking if Sol is done and if they can play now, and he tells them to go for it. Anji introduces herself to the crew and reveals the kids usually play by the Warrior Spring, but the two of them told them to wait until after the reunion. She offers to give everyone a tour, but Luffy and Usopp immediately run off by themselves towards the Walrus School, which Sol opened up 20 years ago per King Harold's request. Anji offers to give the rest of the crew a tour, while Sol takes Robin to the Owl Library. Luffy and Usopp come across some giant children who want to play prisoners with the crew, but some other kids tell them to stop because they aren't supposed to hurt humans nor refer to them as shorties. You know, pipsqueaks in the Viz manga. And the kids relent. Usopp is confused by the kids' mellowness and asks if they are not supposed to be fighters, but the kids say fighting is dangerous. So now we're starting to see that things from the warrior land of Elbaf may not be as fully packed of warriors as we once believed. The Straw Hats get an explanation by the children's teacher, a woman named Ripley, the heavenly mounded Ripley, who the crew were unknowingly standing on. Ripley tells the Straw Hats that the legends about fearsome giant pirates are all 100 years old. Today, giants are more peaceful, as King Harold wanted the giants to trade with other nations rather than plunder. And though the giants considered him a revolutionary who wanted to change Elbaf for the better, he was ultimately slain by Loki. And as such, the giants refused to consider him their new king, thereby leaving the country without a ruler. So now we understand. Loki is of the mind of 100 years ago, where the giants are basically just warriors and they take whatever they want, and since they're giants in comparison to humans, they're basically considered like ants in front of the grasshoppers in A Bug's Life. Loki doesn't want things to be new and improved. He doesn't want it to be a nation of peace. He wants things to stay just as they were 100 years ago, where Elbaf was just a warmongering nation. That explains the old look of Elbaf with all those battlements that they have all across the tree. That is part of old Elbaf, the old Elbaf ideology. And King Harold wanted it to be a place of peace. He was literally the King Riku Dold of his nation, where he just wanted to have a peaceful country. But Loki wasn't having no peace. I don't want peace. I want problems, always. Like, that is literally Loki. Let me see. While everyone begins the tour of the school, Ripley asks Luffy about his transformation, which she said reminds him of a legendary warrior from Elbaf's story, Nika. And as she is from the last generation of warriors from that time, so she can be considered a warrior of old as well, but she knows she's just chilling with the new ideology of Elbaf as it stands now. Back with Robin and Sol, who were also joined by Chopper, Lilith, and Bonnie, Sol brings them to the Owl Library, where he explains he went back to Ohara with Harudin to salvage the books. He warns her to be careful, and sure enough, once she steps inside, the book in her hand grows to giant size. So it's not even a matter of her picking up a book that was in there. The book she had with her suddenly turns giant size. Sol explains this as an unnatural ability of the library, but he is more thrilled to be able to share all of the knowledge he saved from the island with Robin, who is brought to tears to see all of her island's books. Every last book from Ohara that they were able to save is there in that library, with the library having the strange ability to basically enlarge all of the books that come into the library, which means that all the information of Ohara, the giants can read. They can read that. It's not a matter of like, oh, what are they going to do with all those books? They must use a magnifying glass to understand all this stuff. And Saul's all like, no, due to the unnatural ability of this library, we can read all this stuff, and I'll happily share it all with you. Because, unfortunately, due to that same thing, books that are normal size for Robin and the like, it suddenly gets enlarged into the size of Saul, which means that getting those books would probably take a hot minute. But continuing, down in the underworld, Loki chats with someone named Mosa. Did he say Mosa? Did he say Mosa? Oh, he keeps calling him Shaggy. He's calling him Shaggy. Mosa. Mosa is a mysterious friend of Loki. Nothing is known about her features. Apparently undergone a traumatic event of some sort, which they claim have deeply affected them ever since. Loki refers to Mosa with the suffix ko as a sign of friendly respect. It is unclear if Mosa is an actual name or a nickname. In Japanese, Mosa Mosa means to be hairy, to be thickly bearded. The official Viz Media translation interprets this as a nickname and translates it to Shaggy. So it's unknown if it actually is one of the elders. He said Mosa in the scans. Gotcha. Don't worry, Cohagen. I looked into it. If I'm curious about something, I look it up because they have links to this stuff so that it can clear it up for me. Don't worry, I'm good. Down in the underworld, Loki chats with someone named Mosa, or Shaggy, and he asks them if the moment of fear they experience still motivates them, which Mosa confirms. Shaggy confirms. Loki muses how even though the two of them have never met face to face, he considers Mosa/Shaggy a friend, and declares if he were in Mosa's place, he would have destroyed everyone present. Though Mosa doesn't approve of Loki's violence, Mosa says they are beginning to notice the essence of kindness coming from Loki's harsh words, though the disgraced prince vehemently denies being kind. While the other giants are celebrating, that sounds like a fish joke. Hey, what are you celebrating over there? While the other giants are celebrating, a bolt of black lightning strikes the nearby castle and a magic circle similar to what the 5 elders used appears within. Standing inside the castle are 2 figures, one of them looking like Shanks when he met with the elders during the reverie. Okay, so, chapter notes. Lilith reveals that a clone of Vegapunk Stella was brought with them from Egghead. This clone was a Vegapunk who visited Elbaf 20 years ago. Lilith intends to build a new laboratory on Elbaf to extract the clone from the biofluid container and to cure Kuma. The Owl Library and the Walrus School are detailed. Anji, the librarian, and Ripley, the biology teacher, are introduced. It is revealed that Elbaf children are no longer trained to be warriors due to King Harold's reforms. The Owl Library has the power to gigantify books inside it. Loki talks with a mysterious acquaintance called Mosa via Denden Mushi. 2 hooded figures, one resembling Shanks, arrive on Elbaf via magic circles. And there we have it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we face right now is, one, we got a clone of Vegapunk. We got a giant library where every book that was salvaged with the giants back after the Ohara incident happened, that is now on Elbaf for them to enjoy. Loki is speaking to some unknown individual who he nicknames as Shaggy or Mosa, so it is currently unknown if it is the giant elder Jarl. Though I have reasons to believe that it may be due to just the nature of the beard, because if you look at the giant chiefs Yorl and Jarl, their beards are basically gigantic and super, super huge. They're the biggest facial hair in all of One Piece. But now we also have 2 individuals who could very well be the Holy Knights, the God Knights of Marijois for some reason making their way onto Elbaf, with one of them looking eerily similar to Shanks. Sorry, I was looking at one of the messages you guys left. Looking strangely and eerily similar to Shanks. So, needless to say, things are about to get very interesting on Elbaf already. We literally just got introduced to this world with narration. Oh, you'll be remissed. No one would hold it against you if you stayed here forever. But don't overstay your welcome. And now we have even greater reasons to, because we could have someone from Marijois, sent from Marijois. Possibly by the elders themselves. And I you know what I think? And I'm just going to say this is as a theory personally for myself. I think Garling's making a move. Because the rest of the elders, they don't be doing stuff. Let's be honest, they don't be doing stuff. They tell other people to do stuff. But I believe that the moment Garling got in that room, in the room of power with the rest of the elders, that dude did not waste any time and he started putting plans together. I have plans that I will not share with you because the Straw Hats would sabotage me. No, I feel like Garling, he may have been the one who sent them just to already be an Elbaf. Because I feel like Garling is the one who is more ready to get up and down and dirty and get stuff started now, rather than just talk things out like the rest of the elders tend to do. I would imagine it is Garling who sent them. If they are indeed the God Knights. If they are, I got questions about them. Specifically the one that looks like Shanks. And I'm pretty sure this is going to put up a whole bunch of theories about who that person is. Is it Shanks' evil clone? Is it his evil twin brother that he never speaks of? Lot of questions that Oda's leaving us on a break for until the year 2025. But all I can say is, this leaves me with a lot of questions. We'll come back to this chapter when I have next week's reflection on pretty much the last day of the year, on the last day of December. So we'll talk about this specific chapter and your theories about what this could mean going forward for the Elbaf arc the next time we speak about it. But overall, I think I said everything that I needed to say. I am so shocked that I went a whole hour just talking about One Piece. Sorry if I kept you here any longer than I needed to. Thank you for sticking around, though. But this was a very, very good chapter, and a really good one. A cliffhanger of a chapter to leave us out on until next year by Oda. So yeah, needless to say, having Robin in that library, these individuals sent in by Gorosei Summoning Circle, the prospect of Kuma getting his mind back and healed. So many things going on here, and now we just got to sit on it for like 12 days. But overall, good chapter. I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get myself some water before I get started with Sakamoto Days. And then I'm just going to rest the rest of the day. Still working on Genshin Impact. So glad I got Nouvellette. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. On to Sakamoto Days.